Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Monday. It is September 28th. We're talking about this wild weather coming up here in just a moment because that cold front moved through early this morning and we are definitely feeling it right now.
Yes, that put us in a good mood, and also to put you in a good mood, cute animals. Yeah, we have pictures, and there's actually a study that says it is helpful for stress.
Yeah, we'd already done stories during the pandemic about how our furry friends have boosted our morale. The University of Leeds in England and Tourism Western Australia recently teamed up to investigate the impact that watching cute animal clips have, finding that people's blood pressure and heart rates dropped after just half an hour.
That's right. So at the beginning of the study, 19 participants viewed still images and short videos of a range of cute animals. 15 members of the group were students set to take an exam 90 minutes after viewing the footage, while the other 4 participants were academic support staff who reported feeling stressed about work.
So here's what happened when they watched the video of the cute animals. With participants' blood pressure and heart rates tested before and after watching, average blood pressure within the group fell from 136/88 to 115/71. In addition, the average heart rate dropped by an average of about 7%.
Yeah, so across the group, anxiety fell by an average of 35% after looking at the adorable animals. And some individuals even said that the footage relieved their stress levels by nearly 50%.
Dr. Andrea Utley with University of Leeds said it was clear the students felt anxious before the exams and that this video's help. She goes, with the results as solid as they are, we'll be rolling this relaxation method out across other departments so more students can de-stress ahead of their exams.
Seems like it works. It would appear that the images are appealing, but video clips are more meaningful, and I would therefore expect that physical closeness would be even better.
And to pet lovers, all of this is filed that under duh. We kind of already knew that our furry friends kind of de-stress us, right?
Yeah, but it's nice to see a study proves it. So
right.
we know it, and this is confirmation.
Well, especially in the context of how stressful exams can be at the college level.
Yes, yeah. Most definitely. So yeah, go get a pet. For now, let's look at today's 9 at 9.
The New York Times report President Donald Trump did not pay taxes for 10 out of 15 years before taking office and paid just $750 in both 2016 and 2017.
Totally fake news. No, actually, I paid tax, and you'll see that as soon as my tax returns. It's under audit.
President Donald Trump's former campaign manager, Brad PARSCALE, is hospitalized after he reportedly threatened to harm himself while armed with a gun inside of his Florida home.
Governor Greg Abbott has issued a disaster declaration for Brazoria County after a deadly amoeba was found in the city of Lake Jackson's water supply. A 6-year-old boy died from the brain-eating amoeba.
The former Louisville detective involved in the Breonna Taylor shooting is expected to be arraigned today. Brett Hankinson was indicted on first-degree wanton endangerment charges last week. He's expected to plead not guilty.
A San Antonio police sergeant was arrested over the weekend on a DWI charge. Chief William McManus says Sergeant Glenn Mahalik will be placed on administrative leave pending the results of an investigation.
People in California are bracing for another wave of wildfires as the state is exposed to, quote, critical risk for fire weather. PG&E plans to cut off power to nearly 90,000 customers as a preventative measure to avoid igniting fires.
The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office says a woman is in custody after she tried to kidnap the 9-month-old grandchild of Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana. It happened at his home in Malibu. Montana and his wife confronted the suspect and were able to pry the child from her arms.
Uber has won an appeal to operate in London. It comes 10 months after the city took away its operating license over safety concerns. A judge ruled in favor of Uber, saying it was a fit and proper operator.
The ban on TikTok has been put on hold. Hours before it was set to take effect, a federal judge blocked the Trump administration's move to ban TikTok downloads in the U.S. 9:02 right now. You know, they pay us to be on top of things. I figured it'd be nice to at least walk outside and see how the weather's changed since we came in at 3:30 this morning.
I did too. It's beautiful. Now at 69 degrees.
Now we've got quite a few clouds out there, Justin. Will they break at some point today?
It's going to take until later this afternoon probably before that happens. But it's brisk out there. It is almost PSL weather. Some people would say it is already. You know, it's It's a matter of what you like. But temperatures right now down to 69 degrees. Northerly winds at about 23 miles per hour. And we've got some gusts up close to 40 miles per hour. So it's going to be a very windy day, at least for the first half of the day. By this afternoon, those winds will die down some and the clouds should break up a little bit. We're thinking high temperatures somewhere around 78, 79 degrees a little bit later today. And then it'll be pretty chilly by tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the cloud cover. There you see it, pretty extensive as you look across South Texas. There are some showers and storms with this front, but you got to go down into the Gulf of Mexico before you run into those. So we stay rain free. And a little closer look at the cloud cover here across Bexar County. We did have some breaks earlier, but now the cloud's starting to shift back in. So cloudy skies at the airport. 70 Helotes, 68 Rio Medina, 67 Tarpley, 67 in Bulverde. And the forecast for today, again, up around 78, 79 for a high. Northerly winds 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. We'll talk about how long these winds are going to hang around and if there's any rain in the forecast. That's coming up here in just a few minutes. Guys.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Justin. Construction I-10 at Hoyerman Road out there on the far northwest side. And we've got quite a few vehicles between that ramp and the main lanes out there at 410 near, I can't remember which that last one was. It went so quick. And there's I-10 at the rim.
Top stories we are following today. San Antonio police say an officer shot a man holding a gun at a northeast side home.
Chief William McManus says it happened on Tropical Drive near Palm Bay Drive. He tells us a teenage girl called 911 around 4:30 this morning because her parents were fighting and her father, she says, has a history of violence. Chief McManus says when the officers arrived, the girl was the one who answered the door.
Two police officers standing in the doorway. The adult male in the home comes around the corner, says something to the effect of, "Who the F is that?" He's got a gun in his hand.
Chief William McManus says that's when one of the officers shot the man. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover.
A San Antonio police sergeant was arrested over the weekend for DWI.
We told you about his arrest in the 9 at 9, and now an arrest report is providing additional details. Sergeant Glenn Mahalik was taken into custody around 1 Sunday morning in the 21,000 block of Blanco Road. The arrest affidavit states an officer saw his vehicle failing to stay in his lane multiple times. The officer pulled him over and noticed a moderate smell of alcohol. The report adds that Mahalik consented to a field sobriety test.
Now, Chief McManus says Mahalik's been placed on administrative leave. Booking records show he was released from the Bexar County Jail last night on bond.
A man in his 20s arrested overnight after police say he stabbed his mother while she slept.
This happened around 2:45 this morning at a home in the 3000 block of Moss Spring Drive, not far from Palo Alto Road and Loop 410 on the south side. Police tell us the pair had been arguing over car keys when the woman decided to go to bed, and that's when officers say the man stabbed her in the backside.
That woman was taken to the hospital. The man was arrested at the scene and charged with aggravated assault.
Well, funeral services will be held this morning for legendary Somerset ISD football coach who passed away just last week.
Sonny Detmer died Tuesday at the age of 76. Detmer coached for 35 seasons at Somerset, Mission, and Southwest high schools, winning 235 games and several district titles. The district says Detmer had not been with the team through the summer because he was battling some health issues.
Funeral services are scheduled for 10 a.m. at Cowboy Fellowship in Jordanton. Detmer's family asking the community to skip the flowers and instead to donate to the Somerset ISD Education Foundation for a Sonny Detmer Memorial Scholarship. You could do so online at SISDEF.com.
In your morning headlines, wildfires continue to burn in California. A guy takes a joyride on a tractor at a major league ballpark.
Snake swallows more than lunch and a bit of a wine spill. David Sears is here, I should say, on a Monday morning. Good morning, David.
Good morning. We're not talking like a wine spill on your carpet in your dining room or living room or something.
Bigger deal than that, isn't it?
A little bit bigger, just a tad bigger. Some people may be upset when they see this wine spill. All right, this is a scene we are starting to look at way too often. Fires burning in California, and they're taking homes with them. This is the Zog fire in Northern California. Thousands of acres being torched by this one. It only took a few hours to do that damage. Then there is the glass fire in Napa County in Northern California. At least 2,500 acres have been torched there. More than 1,800 people have been evacuated from their homes. With hot and dry conditions continuing, doesn't look like things are going to get much better anytime soon. All right, we're going to stay in California for this next one. You're looking at a chase, a guy driving an SUV, weaving in and out of traffic here. Watch him start dodging all these cars, moving around. He is going from the main lanes to the shoulder, across the lanes, and then back to the shoulder. He was all over the place, cutting off traffic. He was going up to 90 miles an hour. And then watch this one. He tries to make this move right here, coming up in just a few. Look at this. Oh, couldn't squeeze through there and got a little too aggressive. That van behind him smashed up against that concrete median. That guy was able to get that thing under control. You can see the guy driving the SUV right there apparently blew out a tire. He's riding on a wheel, sparks flying everywhere. Finally got that over to the side of the road. Then he got out, and this is the area view. Watch him just hit the ground right here. Watch this. He's standing there, and all of a sudden, bam, they nailed him with a taser. Took care of that. He's taken into custody. All right, so now we are in Milwaukee, and that is some guy wandered around the Miller Park baseball field. Just got inside. He found an open door. He ended up on the field, and then, oh, look, a tractor. Let's go for a joyride. Take that thing for a spin, shall we? He did. Tore up the field in the process. Somebody working at the field called 911. The guy moved some of the infield dirt around. He dug up some of the grass, moved that around. He spent 8.5 minutes on his little destructive joyride. He ended up causing about $40,000 worth of damage. Looks like he got stuck at one point, and that was the end of his joyride. So he just kind of left the tractor sitting there and left the field. Police found him. He's Keon Lambert, said he was trying to write his name in the field in cursive with the tractor tires. Judges ordered a mental evaluation. All right, this one might be a little gross for some of you, even if you like snakes. That is Aurora. She's a 70-year-old 12-foot python. Seems Aurora was eating lunch one day, a rabbit. The rabbit was on a blanket. Her owner, Jennifer Wessel, knew something was wrong when she noticed the rabbit was gone, and so was the blanket. Aurora ate the whole thing, rabbit and blanket. Jennifer knew she had to do something quick, so she took Aurora to the vets. They were worried about her starving since she was full. They decided they couldn't operate, so it was too dangerous. So they took a flexible tube, attached a camera to it, and then put it down her throat, then inserted a grasping tool, and yep, they went way down this snake and grabbed the blanket with this tool. And here it is. See, there it is. There's the blanket. And they pulled, and they pulled. I thought it was just a little gross. Did I say that? Did I say it was a little gross?
You warned us.
Do you just wash that and reuse it?
And they pulled, and they pulled, and they got the blanket out of the snake. That is gross, Belly.
I'm just so thankful that everything went well, and I'm still able to provide this baby what she needs.
Overall, it took about 30 minutes. I just, Mom, have you seen my Snuggie? Oh, that's Finally, wine lovers, you might want not to look at this one either. Look at that is wine. It's flowing. That's what you call flowing wine. Not the way you would like the gallons of it leaked out of a damaged tank, about 13,000 gallons worth. This happening at a winery in Spain. The spill apparently caused by a break in that tank. The wine went around some of the vehicles in the parking lot, and that it went into a field. So if you own one of those cars, you might not want to drive home just yet till you kind of wash off the wine, because you could imagine getting pulled over or something. And
look at that.
Up behind you going, what have you been drinking?
That cascade of wine coming out of that tank. Yeah, some tears were shed by many folks.
Oh,
yeah, I think so. And it's in Spain, so you figure it's probably pretty good wine, right?
Not bad at all. They do pretty well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. We'll talk sports coming up in a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your blood pressure on the level if you can.
Man.
Look at some puppies online. Right now, it's 9/11, 69 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA
That
at
ain't gonna
9.
The San Antonio woman's doing her part to help the community. Why she decided to create a nonprofit for people battling drug and alcohol addiction.
All right, and this is what we were kind of getting at. I was waiting for David to walk out of the room before we brought it back up, but he's still here. That's okay. Things not looking great for the Cowboys or Texans. David and RJ join us with their thoughts. We'll call them thoughts on the game. And we've got David's soapbox queued up too.
A new restaurant coming to the northwest side. Tips for personalizing your iPhone and places to pick your own produce here in San Antonio. RJ Marquez has details on these stories trending on KSAT.com.
9:15. San Antonio Staples set to open a new restaurant this week, and some great local spots to pick out your own fruits and pumpkins.
RJ Marquez joins us live in the newsroom to talk about some trending stories on KSAT.com this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Also an interesting iPhone update, but first we start off with southerly That's right. Southerly at the Pearl is set to open its new restaurant, Hot South, this Wednesday at the Rim on the northwest side. The restaurant will include lunch, dinner, and takeout. The menu has Southern-style food, including Southerly's signature fried chicken, seafood, and a full oyster bar. Guests can also order sandwiches, salads, and lighter options. The restaurant will, of course, feature cocktails, variety of wines, and can't forget about Southerly's locally brewed beers. So, of course, the concept is behind the same group that is behind Southerly at the Pearl. So a lot of the same sort of things that for people that are fans of the Pearl location. And, of course, it will follow all COVID-19 guidelines. So make sure to check that place out when it opens up again this Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, guys, moving on to our next story. You may have noticed a trend on social media lately with people showing off their newly customized home screens on their iPhones. Some fun, right? Just when you're in self-quarantine, I guess. This is all thanks to Apple's new iOS 14 update. This update allows iPhone users to add widgets, change the appearances of their apps, and really make their phone their very own besides just changing that wallpaper. You can now match color schemes, add different app icons, and create an overall theme. So this takes a little bit of time to do, so we have this broken down, a step-by-step instructions for you on KSAT.com. Stephanie, I know you're a big Halloween person, so I think this would be kind of good for you, right? To kind of do like a Halloween theme.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I might make it a project for my husband to do.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
My son has that WidgetSmith app, and it's really cool what he's been doing with his screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of really cool designs and different things like that. So pretty interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
Check out this story on our website. All right, guys, the weather, of course, is getting a lot cooler. You could definitely feel it outside. And after a lot of self-quarantine, for most people, now might be a good time to definitely get outdoors. So we have orchards, which are a great way to practice social distancing while still enjoying the freedom of leaving your house. There are a few places in San Antonio where you and the family can walk through an orchard and pick your own produce. Pretty interesting. We have 8 spots listed online. It's everything from picking out pumpkins to strawberries to even figs. Gotta love a good fig. Make sure to call ahead and check out if these orchards are open. Any of those spots kind of interest you guys?
Probably a pumpkin.
Yeah.
You know, or something like a pumpkin patch, maybe. That'll be timely, right?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, guys, moving on to the days of the week. Today is National Drink Beer Day.
On
Pretty
Monday?
good there. I know, on a Monday. That's a little bit strange. And it's also National Good Neighbor Day. Pretty cool. Tomorrow is National Coffee Day, so maybe if you drink too much beer today, maybe you have some coffee tomorrow.
It's all better.
Wednesday is National Chewing Gum Day and Love Day. Interesting. Thursday is National Hair Day. I have no idea what that's about. Friday is Custodial Workers Recognition Day and Name Your Car Day. Saturday is National Boyfriend's Day, and Sunday is National Taco Day.
Cool, Taco Day.
Yeah,
National
Taco
Hair
Tuesday.
Day. He doesn't know what that's about from a man with a full head of hair. Great looking head of hair.
So just use
Thanks,
extra
guys.
hairspray
Appreciate
on
it.
that
I'll
day.
celebrate. I'm definitely going to celebrate.
I will celebrate vicariously through you, RJ. Thank you very much. Live from our newsroom. Time for a junior meteorologist. And meteorologist Justin Horn is with us now.
Hey there, guys. Blake, a very sharp-dressed young man, is our meteorologist this morning. Take a listen.
Hi, my name is Blake. I am forecasting the weather. Today it is raining. I'm standing outside and it's raining. So it's a good day for plants, and there's a 0% chance of any major storm. It's a little windy. It has a 40% chance of thunderstorm or lightning storm. It's 86 degrees outside. And with the cold breeze, which isn't very big, it has a cold breeze. Bye-bye.
Great sign off.
Yeah, quick and to the point. Man, that tie is on point, too.
So I was going to say, blue
looking
and white
sharp.
ties with black vests are now trending on Twitter. What happened?
Oh, yeah. It's
The trendsetter.
He's on it.
Great job, Blake. We appreciate it as always. And don't forget, you can submit videos via our website, KSAT.com, under the Junior Meteorologist tab. We'd love to see a few more videos. He's talking about the wind and it being a little bit cooler. Certainly the case today. We got a cold front that came through a little bit earlier. We put this on time lapse here. That front came through earlier this morning, and when it did, man, the winds really picked up big time, and we're still dealing with some gusty winds right now. 69 degrees at the airport, cloudy, northerly winds at about 23, but gusts to 38 miles per hour at this hour. 65 Comfort, 68 Canyon Lake, 71 right now in New Braunfels, 70 in Hondo, 69 in Stinson. So it's not chilly this morning, but it is cooler. And by tomorrow morning, you will feel it a little bit more because we'll lose the winds and we'll have clear skies and the temperatures will really be allowed to drop. 64 Fredericksburg, 65 in Junction, 72 right now in Del Rio. Winds are the big story right now, gusting to 24 in Kerrville, 30 in New Braunfels, 28 in Gonzales. And one of the bigger gusts right here in San Antonio, again, close to 40 miles per hour. For that reason, we have a wind advisory in effect until 1 p.m. this afternoon, basically along Highway 90 and to the north, including the Hill Country and along I-35. I want to talk about fire danger a little bit here, too. This is from the Texas A&M Forest Service here, and where you see this orange color. So we're going out towards, say, Hondo and down to the south parts of Frio County. There is a higher risk of some fires today with the gusty winds. Just be aware of that. We're starting to get into that season where we see these gusty winds and the air really dries out. And we got to be cognizant of the potential for some grass fires and those sort of things. Visible satellite picture shows a lot of cloud cover over Bexar County right now. There are some breaks as you get up towards Bandera. It'll be mostly cloudy, especially through the first half of the day, but we should start to lose some of these clouds by the afternoon. You can see the front here very clearly right there. This is moving into the Gulf of Mexico. There are some showers and storms out ahead of it. No rain behind it, though. We're not expecting any rain today. There were a few showers earlier. And those clouds are extensive. They stretch from San Antonio up into the Texas Panhandle and parts of New Mexico at this hour. It is cooler behind this front. 50s in the Panhandle. You'll find some 30s and 40s up there in the mountains around Denver and Casper. Not a just bitter cold air mass, but the change is nice. And dew points will be low for several days. It's not until the weekend that they start to jump back up and we start to feel a little bit more humidity. Even then, it's not a crazy number there. So a very dry week ahead, and that means rain chances really aren't there either. Forecast for today, 74 noontime, 78 by 2 o'clock. We'll top out close to 79 later today. And again, mostly clear skies by tonight. 83 degrees tomorrow, still a little bit breezy. We start off at 53. 89 Wednesday, 90 on Thursday, and sunny skies going into the weekend, too. Still in the upper 80s. Guys?
Very nice. Thank you, Justin.
Still ahead on GMSA at 9, a cafe aimed at healing families struggling with addiction. How a San Antonio woman was inspired to help others after overcoming addiction herself. This week on What's Up South Texas, a woman who says she is a recovered alcoholic takes us inside the nonprofit she co-founded to help others battling drug and alcohol addiction.
Terry Lopez says she has been sober for several years now. She founded Serenity Star in Smithville and also opened Comfort Cafe here in San Antonio. The goal of the organization is to be vulnerable for change in people fighting their addiction. It is also a place where they allow families to recover together instead of being separated. To see the full story, just head to KSAT.com and search for What's Up South Texas.
There is, of course, more ahead on GMSA at 9.
From news on demand and in-depth original storytelling to music and history lessons, the KSAT TV app has a ton of exclusive content you can enjoy on demand. Why? You should download it and how.
Finding out the stories behind the names. Justin Horn has spent years looking into how towns around here got their names. Today, sharing the story behind the town of Cotulla.
And not a great weekend for Texas pro football fans, but for the Longhorns, woohoo! No, I'm just kidding. The Cowboys and the Texans both falling short against their opponents. David and RJ are back to break down what went wrong. That's next.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
And welcome back. It's 9:30. So from college to the NFL, it was a wild weekend on the football field.
Indeed, David and RJ are back to break it all down, including some tough losses for the Cowboys. And David Sears' Texas Tech Red Raiders. Do we go ahead and roll the soapbox now, or do we let you guys go a while?
You might need. Usually I stand here and I like RJ. I have a piece of paper. It's got stats and notes and all kinds. I just brought sadness and disappointment today. That's all I got. That's all I got.
It's a tough Monday,
not happy.
guys.
Not happy. Where do we start then? Cowboys.
Let's start with Cowboys.
Sure, let's start with the Cowboys. Sure. Cowboys on the road taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And early on, Cowboys got a nice break here, David, on this Russell Wilson pass to DK Metcalf.
Right.
Crazy play.
Now, this is a rookie chasing down a veteran. It knocks the ball out of his hands. It goes out of the end zone, so the Cowboys get the ball, and they don't get a touchdown. Look at that. That's a rookie doing that. Smart kid. Best play of the game for the Cowboys.
Especially in the first half. Cowboys were down 30-15 as the game went along. Really a lot of defensive problems. Now, Dak did bring them back here. Nice throw here to Michael Gallup.
That's pretty good.
Cowboys receiver Cedric Wilson Gallup making some nice plays to get Dallas back in this game, but just was not enough there for the Cowboys.
Yeah, here's the deal. See, that was kind of lucky right there. The Cowboys basically should be 0-3.
Yeah.
When you think about what Atlanta did last week and just kind of stood there and watched the onside kick. I want to love Dak Prescott. I want to be 100% all in with Dak Prescott.
But you're not.
But I can't get there. I just can't get there. He still throws behind receivers, and he still makes, I mean, we're just going to run out the end of these highlights and just let it go. But he still makes some bad decisions. We'll get to the last drive here in just a second. There we go.
Yeah.
Of course, the defensive backs are all hurt, but still, you know, when you got a quarterback that wants to make as much money as he wants to make, you got to make the plays. You got to lead your team to victory, and he doesn't. This is the last play of the game.
Yep.
Now, there was a drive before this where they kicked the field goal.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, and great. There was a drive before that where they ended up kicking the field goal. He made two bad decisions on passes. He tried to throw it down the sideline twice, and both of them were incomplete. Wasn't even close. The guys were out of bounds. Wasn't even close. Instead of throwing to Amari Cooper, who was open over the middle on that little slant, he goes, this isn't it. This is the best play of the game. Right. But it's like, come on, Dak. Come on. I want to like you so
Well, this
bad,
is why we call it Monday morning quarterback, right? Because Zeke Elliott was open on the left side on that last play.
Yeah, but he was dropping passes like I don't know. It was like he had some kind of something all over his hands. He couldn't catch it. He missed 3 in a row. What was wrong with Zeke?
I mean, look, that'll be said. Zeke, I don't know what happened. They just abandoned the running game. I think their defense right now is a major issue because it's pretty clear that they can score points, but they gave up 40 against Atlanta the week before. They gave up another high-scoring game against Seattle, 38. Now, albeit Russell Wilson's a great quarterback, but defensively, they need to figure out some stuff there because Dak threw for 372, 5 touchdowns, and David's giving me a look like.
Real quick, guys. So I got to ask, how much of this do you put on Mike McCarthy?
Well, he just walked into the situation going, this is what I got? This is what I got to deal with?
But the buck stops there, right?
I don't like the short passes. That's the part that bothers me a little bit with their offense.
They dunked it on that last drive. It took them like 5 or 6 plays to get to the 50.
I'm just saying.
What are you doing? Time's running out. You got 3 timeouts and you didn't say it.
All right, Texans. Texans, what's going on with the Texans? They are almost just as bad. Yeah, Texans now fall to 0-3. To me, the Texans, the issue with them is they cannot put together a full 4-quarter game. They have these nice stretches early on there, but they, again, defense, major issues there. They fall to the Steelers 28-21 and now winless on the season.
What did I tell you last week?
Oh, Bill O'Brien, your favorite head coach?
If Bill O'Brien is the head coach at the end of the season, then that means they won the Super Bowl.
It does not look like it's going to happen.
No.
No, definitely does not look like it's going to happen.
I don't know how he keeps his job.
Yeah.
The way they fire coaches in this league. But, we'll see.
Yeah, tough there. All right, moving on really to the, man, this one was another fun one. Texas on the road in Lubbock taking on Texas Tech. And where do we begin with this one? Tech up by 15 late in the game after this incredible run here.
This is painful.
This was really nice. Again,
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him go. Go, baby.
How are you feeling?
To the 30, the 20,
How are you feeling right now, David? Feeling pretty good, huh?
Touchdown, Tech. Oh, but hold on. There's time left on the clock.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Well, what we didn't show you was after that touchdown, there was like 3 minutes left in the game. Tech scores, and they pooch kick it. So they give Texas the ball on the 45-yard line, which was the coach's decision. So I texted Justin and I said, can you fire a coach after 2 games for making that?
Of
course, Tech fans would have got all over me because there's some Tech fans. And, I mean, this is great for UT fans.
Yeah.
Because UT, after Oklahoma lost last night, or Saturday afternoon. UT is in the driver's seat in the Big 12. Oklahoma lost to Kansas State. So UT fans are like loving this. Man, this is the greatest comeback ever, and he just won the Heisman.
Big win there. Sam Allinger had a huge game for the Horns. And then Steel alum, Caden Stearns, boom, making a big play to seal the win for Texas. They stay unbeaten and giving David all sorts of aggregate.
It was
That's part of the sports chat. All Steph had to say was this.
Yes.
Boom.
Boom. Wow.
Yep.
That hurts. Yeah.
Well, the quarterback for Texas Tech did that after they scored that long run. He was behind the bench, and he did that.
He did the horns down
number.
Right.
It cost him 15 points in 3 minutes in a game.
Tough loss there. Texas taking on TCU next. So, whew. You okay, David?
Take a deep breath, RJ. David, check your pulse.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know how David's doing a little bit later in the newscast. Guys, thank you very much. 9:37 right now. Let's go outside where things have been changing since early this morning.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there, Justin.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's fall. It's football weather. And by the way, it wasn't mentioned. The Aggies won.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night. Wasn't pretty.
Vanderbilt.
Win's a win, my friend. Win is a win. Oh, wow. I'm really worried about him. Pollen count. We got mold in high category. Ragweed is moderate. Fall elm is low. The winds are going to kick this stuff up, so just be aware the pollen count's not going to be real nice next couple days. Visible satellite picture shows that front is well to our south. It's made it through Corpus now. There's some showers and storms down there. It's through Laredo. Still have some cloud cover, although it's starting to erode already north of San Antonio. You can see some of those breaks there up around Bandera and Sisterdale, so the sun should pop out later today. 64 Bernie Stage, 69 Rio Medina. It's windy. Winds are going to be out of the north 15 to 25 and gusty. We'll be up around 79 later this afternoon. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Taking a look out with TransSky, there's 37 Carolina and 1604 in Houseman. Things looking pretty good right now. And there's a lot of news on air and online here at KSAT, but if you just can't get enough of us, there's a lot more to discover on the KSAT TV app.
From news on demand to more in-depth original storytelling to music and history lessons, take a look.
Hey KSAT TV, now streaming on the KSAT TV app.
Head over to the KSAT TV app.
In this KSAT TV Extra, we talk to experts about how efficient all of these actually can be.
In this KSAT TV Extra, you'll hear from a San Antonio teacher, a local doctor, and a psychologist as they weigh in on the risk of reopening schools.
In this KSAT TV Extra, we talk to a group of local students to get their take on the fate of their learning this fall.
And Alyssa Medina, one of the producers behind this content, joining us live right here in the studio to tell us more about what's streaming, which is awesome. Good to see you here, Alyssa.
Good to see you too.
Hi, Alyssa. So reiterate what KSAT TV is all about.
Yeah, so KSAT TV is our streaming app. It's available on, here you go, Fire Stick, Android, Roku, Apple TV, and Samsung Smart TV. But it's basically a place where people can stay connected with us. They can get their news. They can get extended footage, a bunch of bonus videos from us, lots of music, lots of fun stuff on there. But it's basically for anyone who's looking to cut the cord. They are kind of tired of paying their cable bill. I'll be honest, I just have an antenna to try and get our channel, which doesn't even work half the time. Right. So this is where the app comes in handy.
Okay, Alyssa, what makes it different than just watching KSAT all day long? Where do you come in?
So when you first hop into the app, you can see our live streams pop up. You'll find the news or say if you hop on at noon, you'll find the noon newscast. If you hop on a little later, you may find the noon replaying. But once you hop out of that, you'll find the top stories of the day. And that's kind of where I come in. I try to find those top stories and look to expand on them a little bit. And in our normal newscast, reporters, they get about a minute 15, a minute 30 to tell their story. But a lot of the times our subjects, our interviewees, they have lots more to tell. So that's where I kind of give them the extra time to really play with their story, kind of give us another angle. Lots of fun stuff on there.
So you're like the Tooth Fairy of producers. You're like, yeah, go ahead, tell a longer story.
Exactly.
It's okay, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
It's granted. Well, tell us about some of the newest stories that you have on the app.
One thing I'm really proud of on there is our History Untold section. So on the 5 and 6 o'clock news, you may find Devin Clark's stories about the past of people of color. He talks to historians here, local history professors, and they are just full of knowledge. They have lots and lots to tell. And like I mentioned, he doesn't always get the chance to tell the entire story on the newscast. So there are 4 episodes currently on the app. You can find 4 of them where the history professors go in depth about history lessons that you may not have learned in the classroom. So that's a fun one. And then recently we published a piece on a handful of deputy registrars who are making big efforts to get people to register to vote. They're out at local coffee shops, restaurants, really putting the effort out there to make it easy and convenient for people to sign up to vote. And that has been a really inspiring one to put together, because people are out there, they're invested there, and they're not politically affiliated. They're not big, prominent San Antonio figures. They're just normal people wanting to get people registered to vote. So I think it's stories like that that are really worth the time to get out there and check it out on the app.
And resonating with a lot of our viewers. All right, Alyssa Medina, one of our producers behind the scenes here at KSAT 12. Thank you so much for everything you do, Alyssa.
Thank you.
Good having you in studio.
Yes, it's good to see you. Haven't seen her in a long time. Not in person. Not in person.
Right now it is 9:42, 69 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9, so let's head over to Justin, who has a preview of what's coming up next.
Yeah, guys, we're going to head down to Cotulla. We always want to learn what's in a name, how did the town get its name, and what's the history. We're going to take you to Cotulla. Coming up.
Well, last week, Justin Horner gave us the backstory of Katerina and its famous hotel. Now he moves down the road to bring you the story behind a name from a town that boasts nearby landowners like George Strait and the Bezos family.
Right. It also was once home to a young U.S. president and falls into our group of towns that sometimes get mispronounced. Justin Horn reports from Cotulla.
As it goes with most towns, the railroad is why the town of Cotulla found its place on a map. But going back farther, the town owes its existence to this man, prominently displayed in the town center.
Cotulla got its name from Joseph Cotulla,
a Polish immigrant who found water and thereby success. He's buried along with many others from the Cotulla family in the city's cemetery. Cotulla has long hung its hat on white-tailed deer, but there's also a new game in town.
well, oil has been. Before that, it was hunting.
Changes that perhaps have drawn attention away from the city's once bustling downtown, including when it comes to the now closed Ben's Western Wear, a legendary throwback to the days of old, and once home to a renowned cowboy hat museum. Now the doors are closed, but years ago, George Strait's hat famously sat in here. Speaking of George, he owns land not too far away, while Jeff Bezos' grandparents also owned a ranch near Cotulla. Fun fact, the two are distant cousins. And the list of big names with ties to the town doesn't end there.
Some pretty recognizable names have lived in Cotulla through the years, including a U.S. president who was a teacher here at the Wellhausen Elementary School, which is now the LaSalle County Appraisal District.
That president was Lyndon B. Johnson.
What was really, I think, influential to him was that he really saw the poverty of Cotulla, which there is a significant amount, sadly. And he also saw the discrimination and the racism.
When the Civil Rights Act was passed and he signed, he very poignantly mentioned the city of Cotulla.
Haley Kinsel, world champion barrel racer, also hails from Cotulla. Quite a history and quite a climate. Cotulla's other claim to fame is heat. It often is one of the hottest spots on the weather map.
Heat is a state of mind, and I guess if your mind handles it, it's not hot.
That may be up for interpretation, but Cotulla's contribution to Texas history is not.
Justin Hunter reporting. So I had two questions for you, Justin. One, how is Cotulla mispronounced on occasion?
On occasion, some people say Cotulla. That would be looking like maybe a Spanish pronunciation there, but Cotulla.
And then there was a passing notion in the story there that there's a distant relatives are George Strait and Jeff Bezos are distant relatives?
From the research that I could find, yes. Jeff Bezos' grandparents owned a ranch near Cotulla, and they are distant related. We're talking like fourth cousins here, but kind of interesting.
It's like an Ancestry.com commercial waiting to happen.
It's a small world.
It is a small world. It really is.
Great story. Thank you, Justin.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And it is hot there.
It is hot. It is
It's a
usually
state of mind.
Yeah, it is a state of mind. It's one of the hot spots generally on our weather map for sure. We've got some gusty winds out there this morning, guys, too. Gusting to 38 miles per hour here in San Antonio, gusting to 30 in New Braunfels, 36 in Hondo, 23 in Carrizo Springs. Winds have picked up significantly behind a cold front that moved through earlier this morning. And this is ushering in some cooler air, so it feels a little bit nicer outside. But these winds are going to be gusty through about midday, and then they'll start to die down some. There is a wind advisory that goes through 1 p.m. That includes San Antonio, along Highway 90 into the North Hill Country. Those are the areas where the winds will be at their strongest. Looking outside right now, we've still got cloudy skies here in town. 69 degrees at the airport, 69 Stinson, 72 at Kelly, 68 at Randolph. You see those northerly winds there across the board. It'll be sort of slow to warm up today because we have some of that cooler air trying to work in. Still, with the sun coming out this afternoon, we should see a bit of a bump in temperatures. 68 Canyon Lake right now, 68 in Bulverde, 69 right now in Tarpley, and still in the low 70s down there around Carrizo Springs and Cotulla. Speaking of, looking at the dew points, mid 40s right now, so the air really has dried out, and these dew points are only going to go down. So the air is going to get really dry this afternoon. And by tomorrow morning, once the winds calm, we get the skies to clear, we got the dry air, that's going to allow for some cool temperatures by tomorrow morning. It will be actually a little bit chilly out there. Dew point tracker shows we've got low dew points all the way into the weekend. And even by Sunday, we got a dew point of 62. That's not horrible. So it's going to be a really dry week. Unfortunately, though, without the humidity, we have no chance of rain, and skies pretty much are going to be sunny. We actually could use a little bit of rain. It's just not in the forecast. Visible satellite picture shows we did have cloud cover over San Antonio, but it's starting to break up a little bit, especially on the northwest side. So the sun's popping out up there around the I-10 and 1604, and we may see that trend continue. It looks like we got a nice little hole trying to develop there in the cloud cover to the north and west of town. There are some showers associated with this front as you get down towards Corpus and into the Gulf of Mexico, but that is all pushing south and away from us, and the cloud cover extends all the way into the Texas Panhandle, but even then it's also starting to break up, so those clouds shouldn't last too long. 62 Dallas, 64 Lufkin, 69 again here in town. You go north, the numbers are much colder. Shows some of that colder air shifting in from Canada. 49 Bismarck, 34 right now in Casper, 42 in Denver. Not bitterly cold, but it is a nice change, and nice that we're starting to see some fronts. Forecast for today, 74 noontime, 79 by 4 o'clock. We'll top out close to 79 and look for things to clear out tonight. We start off at 53 tomorrow morning, 83 on your Tuesday, breezy still, and then look for upper 80s, low 90s Wednesday, Thursday, and over the weekend we'll be in the upper 80s. We'll be right back.
Maybe you'd be September 28th. We've already been talking about Halloween and some of the guidance for dealing with the pandemic and trick-or-treaters all at the same time.
Now we have some guidance for Thanksgiving. This is coming from the Federal Health Agency issuing a warning over Thanksgiving gatherings amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic.
That federal agency would be the CDC. They're listing low, moderate, and high-risk activities around Turkey Day. Low-risk activities for Thanksgiving include, these make sense, having a small dinner with only people who live in your household.
And they're like preparing traditional family recipes and delivering them in a way that doesn't involve contact with others.
Having a virtual dinner and sharing recipes with friends and family.
Also, it says shopping online rather than in person on the day after Thanksgiving or the next Monday.
Watching sports, events, parades, and movies from home. What's weird is most of us have already been doing all of these things in the years leading up to the pandemic.
Pretty much, right?
That's true. So just keep on that safe path. Have a great day.